Hi friends, I'm Anya and welcome to my kitchen here at Prepare and Nourish. Today we're making nachos, but not just any nachos. We're making sheet pan nachos. They're husband approved, kid approved. It's an awesome meal that can come together in 30 minutes and feeds a crowd. I love sheet pan dinners. They're super convenient in that everything comes together in one pan. But this particular recipe can also be made as individual servings in small cast iron skillets or casserole dishes. Also, I'll give you a few tips that you can implement to maximize the nutrient content. Sheet pan nachos is a winner around here and it'll become your favorite too. Let's get started.
Let's talk about the ingredients first. There are numerous things you can do to increase the nutrition in these sheet pan nachos. Starting with our taco meat. I'm using pastured, grass-fed ground beef today. If you want to bump up the nutrition, you can add a little bit of organ meat like liver or heart. Organ meats are very nutrient dense, and including them into a recipe like sheet pan nachos where there's many other flavors and textures is an easy way to add nutrition. But today, this is all I have. We're going to flavor that meat with aromatic herbs and spices. We're using ground cumin, red pepper flakes, chili powder, oregano, and minced garlic and onion that will add some texture. You can also make a large batch of the taco seasoning and store it in a jar and then just scoop 2 tablespoons when you're ready to use. And finally, to our seasoned meat, we will add some tomato sauce, or in my case today, jarred diced tomatoes. Now moving on to the rest of the ingredients. Let's start with the best tortilla chips. I love using these chips made with ancient grains like millet, amaranth, and quinoa. Ancient grains are generally less refined and tend to be higher in fiber, nutrients, and minerals. You can also make your own tortilla chips from sprouted corn tortillas, and I will link to that post in the description box below. Cheese. My favorite cheese to use is raw cheddar. Then we have all the basic nacho toppings like diced tomatoes, black beans if using. Your best option here is to use beans that have been soaked and or sprouted, then cooked. I always like adding a bit of green to my nachos, but this is totally a personal choice. Some black olives for their healthy fat, and my lacto-fermented jalapenos. I will drop a link to that recipe in the description box. A perfectly ripe avocado, sour cream, and some cilantro and diced red onions. Of course, this is totally customizable and you can add or remove any of these toppings. Now let's get started with the making of the taco meat. I like using my trusty, perfectly seasoned cast iron skillet. It's great for heat retention and gives that perfect browned meat. With cast iron, you want to make sure it's very well heated through first before adding the meat. Add ground meat to the hot pan over medium heat and break it up with the flat wooden spatula. The key is you want the meat to cook undisturbed for a few minutes in order for the ground meat to brown. Then give it a quick stir, break up the meat some more, and let it cook undisturbed again. Do that a few more times until the meat is almost fully cooked. Add your taco seasonings and salt. Just make sure that if you're using store-bought taco seasoning that you check for salt content first so you don't overdo it. Stir and continue to gently cook over medium-low heat. You want to make sure you're not cooking the meat on high heat because that will yield rubbery, dry taco meat and no one will be happy about that. Once your seasonings are fully combined with the meat, add your tomato sauce or jarred diced tomatoes. I love the texture and flavor that diced tomatoes bring to the dish. You may want to just use tomato sauce if you have picky eaters who won't appreciate the tomato chunks. But you'll notice that as the taco meat cooks down and all the flavors melt together, the tomato chunks will soften and some will even break apart. This will thicken and create a very rich taco meat. Be careful not to take the meat off the heat prematurely. You don't want it to be too runny or too thin. Just lower the temperature and gently simmer on low heat until the taco meat thickens. Our taco meat is done. See how there's not much liquid? One of the benefits of cooking with pastured ground meat is that you really don't need to drain the fat. There's either not a lot of it or whatever is there is actually beneficial for you. You can read more about the benefits of animal fats in my post. While the taco meat was cooking, I also prepped all the toppings. I grated my cheese. I'm using raw cheddar today. This truly traditional artisan cheese is made with whole raw milk from cows that graze on grass daily. It is packed with bioavailable vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and beneficial bacteria. Now we are going to heat our nachos in the oven for just a few minutes for the cheese to gently melt, but not enough to kill these beneficial properties. Of course, you're welcome to use any other cheese if you wanted to skip the raw cheddar. As part of the toppings, I also diced some red onion. You can use white or yellow or even green onion are options I've used in the past and have all been great. I also chopped up some romaine lettuce. I love adding lettuce to nachos because it just makes the meal more balanced. Dice up some fresh tomatoes. You can also use pico de gallo or my fermented salsa that is full of healthy enzymes and probiotics. Link in the description box below. Now the fun part. Let's build our nachos. Spread tortilla chips evenly across a large baking sheet, making sure there aren't any holes. Sprinkle some cheese, followed by your prepared taco meat. We'll just spoon that over. Add more cheese and top with beans if you're using. You can also work the beans into your taco meat on the skillet if you prefer. Pop it in the oven for a few minutes until the cheese is melted. After just a few minutes in the oven, it's time to pile on all the fun nacho toppings. You can drizzle, scoop, or spoon some good quality sour cream, chopped lettuce, diced tomatoes, sliced black olives, fresh avocado if you so desire, or you can also just spoon some guacamole or skip it all together. We'll add some fresh cilantro and some cultured jalapenos for a nice kick. Top all of that with some cotija cheese and you have the ultimate loaded sheet pan nachos. The best way to serve these nachos is either straight off the pan or plated with a white spatula.
At this point, once you have everything plated, you're welcome to add additional toppings like red salsa, salsa verde, even additional jalapenos or olives, and now it's time to enjoy.